What's up, everyone? It's your lady Amy the Seventh with another episode of Pretty Woman Speaks, and this one is all about tuning into your star player and ignoring those naysayers. I used to say all the time, baby, be a cloud, because clouds don't hear dogs barking, and I think too many of us, including me, need to learn how to. Shut the dogs out of your life, right? Get rid of those dogs barking in your life so that you can tune into your star player. I think some people that I'm going to point out that really understood how to become a cloud amongst those dogs out here. It's my girl Sha'Carri Richardson, uh, Coco Gauff, Coco Gauff, excuse me, Terence Crawford. Simone Biles, all of these people shattering records after they were humiliated, ridiculed, talked about. I mean, all those things that are used to tear down the core of you, they use, right, to sprout and become a seed, a oak tree, a diamond. And this is what I want to focus on. How do we tune into our star player? I really got this idea because tonight's episode was originally supposed to be Up from Ashes. I was going to feature Lardell Spratt, aka Coach Spratt from the Heart of Detroit. He's wrote a book called Up from Ashes that details his life from abuse as a young boy by the hands of his mother to turning to the streets for an escape, making an emotional decision that cost him 20 years of his life behind bars, and then getting out once he got his freedom and taking back control of his life, back control of the stereotypes and the views and the language that was used on him, using those things and redefining his life for the purpose that God had meant for him. In fact, I want to run a clip of why he named actually the book Up from Ashes.
It plays on the old wise tale of the fiery phoenix that you've been through something. You had to get dogged out, beat down, talked about, desolate, alone, forgotten. Um, you know, and then you go through that fire. You refuse to give up. You find yourself, the better part of yourself. You connect with your higher nature, your higher spirit. You refuse to give up and give in, no matter who or what the circumstance is. And then all of a sudden, you notice you begin to sprout wings of fire. And you are above it all. You are flying above it all. You have survived. That's it in a nutshell.
So similar to what Coach Spratt talks about when he said to sprout those fiery wings of fire from those naysayers that's on your back, from those people that are counting you out, and rising above it so that you can survive. Similarly to what Sha'Carri said, is that she focused on herself and she ignored everything but what didn't have to do with her star player. She also goes in and she talks a little bit more about that as well, that I wanted to highlight that really stuck out to me as well.
I would say never give up. Never allow media, never allow outsiders, never allow anything but yourself and your fate to define who you are. I would say always fight, no matter what, fight.
There we go. Okay, no matter what, always fight. Tune out those naysayers. Tune into yourself. Don't let anyone, what the critics say, what gossip is saying on social media, what your family may be saying, what your friends may be saying. Don't allow them to define who you are. Also reminds me of Meek Mill. Meek Mill also has something similar to that spec. Exactly, and I accepted that. So we need to get to a point in life knowing that, as Cat Williams mentioned, that when it comes to being you, the best, the one to ever do it, there's gonna be people out here that's gonna doubt you. There's gonna be people out here that's upset that you can do it and they can't, right? So they're gonna rain on your parade. They're gonna do all that it takes to get in your mind that you cannot do it, right? Until you do it, right? And Eminem said, in losing yourself, if you had one shot or opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in that moment, would you capture it or let it slip? And knowing that most people out here, they want you to lose that title, they want you to lose yourself essentially in a way that you never win. But you need to know that in order to grow, there's going to have to be dirt that's thrown on you, just like a seed. For a seed to grow, it has to be buried. Dirt has to be packed upon it. Then it has to be watered down. I mean, there's a lot of things that goes into the process of growth, and we must take that in stride. And what really and it leads me to the point where Coco Gauff, who is also the Grand Slam champion at 19, she talks also about losing her, excuse me, um, excuse me, 3, 2, 1. And that brings me to Coco Gauff, who's now a Grand Slam champion at the age of 19, the first one to do it this young, as Serena Williams did in the 1990s, I believe 99, at the tender age of 17. And she talks about how her painful losses led up to her releasing burden of expectations, and for her to play for herself and not others. The same conclusion that Sha'Carri had to arrive to, that in order to block out naysayers, to block out distractions, almost like people do with horses. When you ride horse and carriages, horses have on blinders because it makes them get spooked if they see things that's out of their tunnel vision. And we have to become like horses in that sense, where we're blocking out things that interfere with our vision, like Coco Gauff talks about, um that she had to hit her reset because people thought that she hit her peak, and then learning to let go because it freed herself of the weight of expectations, and it allowed her to just do her best. And I think too many of us hold on to beliefs that causes us to lose ourselves, that causes us to forget why we are there in the first place, right? That's what creates imposter syndrome. And Coco had to learn to let that go in order for her to go back to day one of why she was doing it in the first place. What really sticks out to me was her interview, and I wanted to play her interview as well after she won and what she had to say to her haters.
Um, Honestly, thank you to the people who didn't believe in me. I mean, like a month ago, I won a 500 title, and people said I would stop at that. 2 weeks ago, I won 1,000 title, and people were saying that was the biggest it was going to get. So 3 weeks later, I'm here with this trophy right now. So the, I tried my best to carry this with grace, and I've been doing my best. So honestly, to those who thought who were putting water on my fire, you're really adding gas to it, and now I'm really burning so bright right now. And last,
Putting gas to my fire and rising above it. Thank you to my haters, right? I don't think we spend enough time thanking our haters. I think we spend too much time mad that we have haters. And Ice Cube actually has a song out that says that he don't have no haters. He only got whatever he has. Let me see what Ice Cube has on. He doesn't have no haters. This is just really off part. I don't really know the whole songs. But he says, sorry, y'all, I ain't got no haters. All I got is bleep players. We get money in them layers. Sorry, y'all, I ain't got no haters. Exactly. We don't have haters out here. Just motivation, just fuel to our fire. They throw gas on us, and we can rise like the fiery phoenix that we're meant to be. And, this yeah, I'm just really excited about the opportunity for my own Phoenix moment because I do feel like I've had dirt thrown on me. I've had moments of self doubt, anxiety, isolation. I'm even briefly going through a period of isolation right now. But for me, this is a moment of redefining myself up from ashes, redefining myself, fighting the will to continue to live, the due diligence, and to deliver, as Frank Sinatra said, the best revenge is massive success, or as Beyonce say, the best revenge is your paper, right? So getting your paper right out here, like my boy Terence Crawford, who's also now the undisputed champion in a 147-pound division in four-belt era that began in 2004. Let me tell you, my boy Terence Crawford, I remember watching the fight, and I tell you, I'm not the biggest boxer fan. I don't really watch it, but there are moments that are really big highlights. And I'll say that I went out with a friend of mine, and for the Terence Crawford fight, and I asked him, I was like, well, who's the underdog? And he's like, oh, it's Terence Crawford. And I said, well, that's who I'm going to roll with. And I just didn't know how much hate and just vile language that was created around him because they thought at 35 that he was just washed up and he couldn't do it anymore. And um, he proved them wrong like he said he could. And I wanted y'all to listen to what he similarly had to say about proving naysayers wrong. That
it is what it is. I'm the number one fighter in the division. They want to see it. And it's stamped right here. So for all you guys that doubted me, for all you guys that said I was too small, I was actually too strong. and now everybody, they get to witness greatness, like I said before, and it's the Terence Crawford era.
okay, it's your era, right? For people that's doubting you, and they saying you too small out here. Let them know you too strong, you too swift, you too smart out here. Everything that's done out here is for a purpose to better you, right? There's going to be times where ashes are going to be thrown on you. There's going to be times and periods of isolation. These things are a given when you are a world champion. I mean, look how they done Simone Biles up until now, which is now she's smashing the 8th national championship up until now. they, riled on her because she stepped down to tend to her mental health. See, it's times out here when you need to check on you in order to tune into your star player. Each one of these people that I had you all listen to, they talked about periods of humiliation. They talked about periods of isolation, people talking about them, people creating a moniker around them that was not the story they want to tell. And I'm telling for you, you can rewrite your own story. You can become that fiery phoenix. Whatever that's been thrown on you, use that for motivation to big us, right? Because it's bosses and all us, right? We define our story, right? Don't let the media, don't let your family, your friends, don't let anyone define your story but you. You can be the hero in your story. You can overcome, you can release burdens of expectations and play for self and not others. That is the whole purpose of winning out here. I do want to, before I wrap up, end with one quote that I was listening to. Let me find it before we cap. So give me one moment. I'm still here. I just want to find the one that I was listening to. And like I said, your girl probably needs to invest in you too, Red, because these commercials, these mersh, as they say, they don't be mershing. But hold on, I'm gonna find one quote that I want to focus in on. Because that is that business that you want, that book you want to write, that dream that you have of controlling your destiny, that is yours. That's available to you. But you've got to be willing to stand there and face disappointment, not have support, be lonely, doubt yourself sometimes, be rejected again and again and again, become bankrupt if necessary, again and again and again, and refuse to turn around until life gives it up. Life will always be, to a large extent, what you make it, not what circumstances will make of it, not what other people will make of it, not what other people say it will be, not what the environment will try and dictate to you, but what you make of your life. So when you're uncommon, get ready for the criticism. When you're uncommon, get ready for the opposition. When you're uncommon, get ready for the common people not to understand you. If I decided to experience the fear of rejection, the fear of no, the fear of failure, the fear of standing by myself, the fear of people not liking me, what else is available? Of taking a chance, of fear of losing it all, what else is available to me? And that's a good question. What else is available to you? You've been through the doubt, the disappointment, the letdowns, the betrayals, the the ridicule. You've been through all of those things, but what you have yet to be through is being a world champion, right? And tuning into your star players, how you get to the world champion. You got to let go of those naysayers because they're going to be there. And right, you wouldn't be you if there weren't naysayers. That's how you know you the right? Slat, as they say. Be the person that you're born to be the person that you know you can be. And when all else fails, when things come up into your life and you feel like you're not there, think of Sha'Carri Richardson, think of Coco Gauff, think of Terence Crawford, think of Simone Biles, all people who retuned and reset themselves into their star player after they were ridiculed, after they were disappointed, after they faced losses, overcoming their fears. All of these things are what makes up champions, right? This is how champions are born. And if a champion is what you say you are, take these things in stride and put it on you and wear it as a cloak of success right? Because this is where we are in life. And I'm excited to take these same words that I'm giving to you all and make lemonades and pour out a glass for all of us to partake in, because it's enough lemons out here for all of us to partake in all the things that make lemons sweet, baby. Because you can't take the good without the bad, or the up without the down. This is just part of life. And when you become a cloud, baby, them dogs, they be barking, right? Because the clouds never stop dogs from barking, but what it does stop is from you hearing it. So make sure you tune those things out. And this is what I have to say. I have some great things coming down the pipeline. As I mentioned, I will let y'all know when Coach Spratt episode will air, so that we can really get into redefining and repurposing yourself when society makes you a legal slave, excuse me, or when you make choices in life that causes you to become a legal slave, that confines you, right? Because there are things, even if you don't go to prison, that you can mentally get yourself locked in, right? So all we're about, Amy the seventh, is how to repurpose and redefine ourselves. So that's what we're going to do. I'm looking forward to another episode of Amy the Seven, dropping each and every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Check out Tay Harbor, TAE harborstudios.com/Amy the Seven to check out all streaming platforms. Also, like and follow me on Amy the Seventh at 7TH for all of the amazing things that I have coming down the pipeline. Thank you all for listening in. And if you don't remember anything, remember this: stay in tune in your star player, because nothing else matters when it's all said and done. Peace and love, y'all.